Thanks, Danny. Hi, Chris. Two wins from two, and they've both been by pretty wide margins. Have you been surprised at how comfortable it's been so far for you?
Um, yes and no. I guess obviously no one could have imagined that we would have started like that against the West Indies. We knew it was going to be a big challenge. The batting lineup is it's well documented that it's so stacked, so much experienced players, so much explosive players. But having said that, I think that our concentration from wicket to wicket and really the focus on not really taking the foot off the gas has paid dividends. We treated everyone with as much respect as possible. We've done our homework, and we're sort of seeing those rewards come through in the games thus far. I mean, it's been a dream start, but every game is not going to be that straightforward and that easy. But we'll take it as it comes and try to stay in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Do you expect Australia to be a different proposition then to what you've encountered so far?
Yeah, 100%. Any England-Australia game is always right up there when it comes to stakes and intensity, and I don't expect this game to be much different. Obviously, they're coming off the back of starting the tournament well as well. So, in terms of having a win from the first game, so it will be a tough game. And they have so many good players in their team. Again, another well-stacked batting lineup. We'll have to be right on top of our game once again come Saturday to try and get a result.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on it earlier, where with Will's question, Tamal's obviously back in the fold, taking wickets, showing his class. You've seen his first-hand his struggles in recent years, so you must be delighted for him.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him. The biggest thing I'm happy about is him being able to string together so many games back to back. Obviously, again, well documented. He had struggled with injury in the past, but I feel like him mentally and physically is in a really good place. He's working so hard, especially on his body and his fitness and his mind, and it's really paying dividends, as you can see back in the English shirt now, and we're so pleased to have him.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to John Etheridge.
Chris, hi. I was going to ask you about Timel actually, but I mean, Chris Silverwood was saying the other day about his sort of physical presence at the crease. He's a big man, and is that quite an intimidating prospect for batsmen facing him?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely say that. Obviously, he's full of pace, and he mixes that pace with some high quality skill as well. Whether it be his slow balls, him banging length, him using different angles, and also his cricket brain as well. He really takes onus for his spells, his field placement, and he has a real feel for the rhythm of the game as well. So. Yeah, long may that continue. As I said before, I'm very pleased for him.
And just on Moeen, I mean, he's bowled throughout the power play in both games so far, which wouldn't necessarily have been everyone's expectations. Does that sort of show the flexibility, I suppose, and Owen Morgan's ability to think on the spot?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the team is full of all-rounders, is full of talent and guys who can perform slightly different roles on any given day. Now Mo's obviously been tasked with starting off the innings with the ball thus far, and he's done an exceptional job. Whether it's bowling to right-handers or left-handers, his control of his length and his line and mixing his pace and varying his pace has been really important for us in those opening overs, and most importantly, he's obviously picked up wickets, which has sort of helped us start to control things as we go into the middle and end phase of the game. So yeah, he's come and done a brilliant job opening the ball, and yeah, again, long may that continue.
Great, thanks. Cheers.
Okay, let's go Tim Wigmore and then Dean Wilson. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Chris. We've seen the team the seamers bowl those heavy lengths into the pitch rather than bowling fuller. Has that been a deliberate tactic? Obviously, it's worked really well so far.
Yeah, we more or less go into most games with a free mind, to be honest. We try to assess conditions as quickly as possible within those first couple of overs, where the guys taking in new balls very key in that. So we're always having conversation on what the pace of the pitch is like, and what can potentially work. And so far, initially that's been the feedback. We try to stick to hard lengths as much as possible whilst mixing pace or whatever in between. But yeah, it's been more down to the communication amongst the guys. From the time the game starts, we're always talking, always trying to figure out what the pace of the pitch is like, what sort of score we want to chase or whatever the case may be. And then that sort of dictates the intensity and everything that goes from there.
And obviously, there's been a lot on taking the lead in the last few days. I wonder if you had any kind of reaction to the sort of situation with South Africa, and also if you could just talk about the importance of your team and taking the lead going forward.
Well, no, initially I didn't have much of a reaction because, I mean, I'm on, sometimes you see, I don't know, some news or anything come up, but actually we personally don't know the ins and outs of it. We don't know what we went before. We don't know what's to come after. So I try to keep as open-minded as possible. I know from playing cricket with Quinny as well, I don't know what type of guy he is and whatever. So again, I didn't really have an opinion because I don't know the facts. I didn't know the ins and outs of it. Having said that, obviously he's made his statement or whatever the case may be. So we must move on. As far as us as a team, definitely think we'll continue to obviously take the knee. It's obviously a really good symbol. We're obviously in a climate where this topic comes to the fore quite a lot, and I mean any opportunity that we can get to educate or even show signs of unity, whatever the case may be, we must take it. It's going to be a long process. It'll take some time for the entire landscape to shift and change, and it might be a little bit here and a little bit there at any given time. And if taking any contributes towards that education and us slightly changing the landscape and pushing it in a slightly different direction, then we definitely want to continue to do that.
Cheers. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Let's go Dean, and then we'll finish with Adam Patel. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, hi CJ. You just said that you know, the next game against Australia is always a notch up in intensity, and it's always a big game. This is potentially the first of 7 meetings between the sides in different formats this winter. Is this the first chance to get English noses in front and just, you know, make the Aussies feel a little bit behind the line in terms of contest between you?
I mean, I would say that's the focus, because I mean, on any given day, regardless of the opposition, obviously we try to set our own standards. So excuse me, Australia being as big a game as possible. That's our 3rd game into the World Cup. We're on the back of 2 wins, and we'll be trying to make it 3, and that'll be our focus. We'll treat every single person, every single player, every single team with that respect. Again, do our due diligence, try and do our homework, and try to see in what way we can put pressure on them and impose ourselves on the game to try to get that victory. So I guess that's the way I see it.
And in terms of the way that you're going to go about the bowling, we saw that Timal obviously took over 20 against Bangladesh. Is that going to be the kind of plan going forward? Is he the last over man, or is that something that might change, and might you put your hand up for it? Because obviously there's a few of you who've got kind of death bowling experience. Is he that go-to guy now?
I think it'll vary from game to game. It'll vary from day to day. That's one of the things that we try to be as a team. We try to be as flexible as possible. You saw yesterday, Rash bowled over his, 17 and 19. So, but that was just the feel on the day. Obviously, Rash had a really good first game where he cleaned up the tail. obviously it didn't quite go that way yesterday, but it'll definitely vary from game to game. The good thing is, I think, for the captain is that the options are there, and everyone's quite flexible and very versatile. And we want to be adaptable in any single situation. And the more players that we can continue to put in those positions, I think the better off for the team.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
And the last one from Adam, please. Go ahead.
Hi, Chris. Just a word or two on yourself, please. How are you feeling in terms of your own performance over the first 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, my mood is definitely dictated by the team's performance and the mere fact that we've had two very, very good performances. Me personally, I'm feeling very overjoyed about that. As far as my personal performance, obviously you're always looking to take your level up. I've come into the game in the first game. Just tried to be nice and disciplined. Was able to pick up a wicket and then Rash clean up the tail yesterday. Obviously, I mean, again, by my own personal standards, would have liked it to be a little bit tidier, but that's not always how a T20 game flows, you know. And again, we were able to keep pressure on for long periods and again get the job done. So I'd say that my personal mood and everything is dictated by team performance.
And it's your third T20 World Cup. Do you feel any sense of extra responsibility as an experienced senior figure within the side?
Yeah, I definitely want to be taking on responsibility. I definitely want to continue to be in those pressure situations, to be in those pressure moments, and to really stand up when it's time to be counted for the team. So, yeah, I mean, whether it's first or third, as I said, I think the team is so full of all-rounders, so full of good talent, and it's a real pleasure for obviously Morgie to captain, to see that he has so many options and so many different types of players to call upon. And I'm glad I can be one of those players to try to put in performance for the team.
And just the last one, have you the guys been watching any of the other games? Any particular team that stands out in the tournament?
Yeah, we've definitely had a peeper at 1 or 2 games. I mean, I guess Pakistan is one of those teams that have stood out thus far. They had a great win against India and then backed that up again with a great win against New Zealand. So I was thinking World Cups, Pakistan is a very, very dangerous team, and I think thus far, just watching from the outside, they look a dangerous unit in these conditions.
Thanks, Chris.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.